Let me know when you press that button. You did.
Now connected to Ash. Sparkles. 2 hearts.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's begin with a namaste, but with a little bit more pizzazz. So I invite you to take your right hand and allow it to move a little bit and let it represent all that you would imagine to be wonderful in your life. Allow it to represent that which you want to turn the volume up of, that which you wish will appear as soon as the mind stops, or as soon as this changes or that changes, or as soon as the world finally wakes up. Let the right hand represent all that you consider good. Good here and hopefully good to come in the future. And now with your left hand, keep your right hand up. With your left hand, let that left hand represent all that you're like. All those thoughts, all those ideas, all the identity, all the shoulda, coulda, woulda, houlda, shoulda, woulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda. All the ideas of time and future. All the ancestral trauma and the global trauma and the this and the that, the issue and the tissue. Ooh. And now take a moment to stop and just look at both. Look at the story of something positive or high vibe, and the story of something blah blah ba doo ba doo ba doo and low vibe. And just notice that which sees, not bound to any dualistic frameworks. Notice the qualities of that which sees, the innate peace already present of that which sees. And as that which sees, bring the palms together and namaste. The freedom as me recognizes and greets the freedom as you. The awareness as me, the loving awareness as me recognizes and greets the loving awareness as you. It's so kind when we can give ourselves the gift of allowing whatever apparent weather is present to just be as it is. Whatever the apparent weather of mind present, feelings, sensations, circumstantial weather. And in this moment, not have to be in the fight of things, not have to contribute to the suffering of your own heart and in turn the suffering of the world by allowing yourself to be soft, noticing what's already soft. You are not just the content of awareness. You are not just the thoughts about yourself or about a second ago or about a second from now. You are not just sensations in a body or the thought of body or the feelings, the emotions, the currents, the tides. But for our time together here, it's really sweet, such a kindness for ourselves and in turn this whole planet to notice, recognize, tell the truth about what is here naturally, already so. Who you are naturally, closer than the wondrous, adventurous concepts of birth and death. The peace that is your nature. For a moment, feel into it. For a moment, allow yourself to get curious about its vastness, about its solidity. The awareness that you are has never once had a problem with mind. It's so innocent and reveals itself to be ever more obvious that, oh yeah, when I take a look and tell the truth, all that has ever had a problem with mind is mind. All that has ever had a problem with thought is thought. And none of that ever has to change. Mind can forever be itself. And in a moment, an instant of allowing this that we call mind to be itself, we also discover mind's true nature. Not what mind thought it was, not what thought it was. The dynamic radiance of stillness itself. The dynamic suchness, dynamic energy. The lila of being. And as we discover that option for ourselves, our internal landscape, we also invite whatever world we imagine is here. The kindness of just being itself for a moment. Such permission. As we may have noticed or discovered, there appears to be a trend in our species. I love that word, species, to solely emphasize thought and conditioning, to have a very alive, astute allegiance to identity and words and descriptions. So much so, we don't even notice that all we experience from that space is our own story. We stop seeing each other and we see story, label, religion, gender, good, bad, beneficial, not beneficial. The good news is, even though it seems very strong and very prevalent and like, Lord have mercy, when the hell we gonna stop with this? Like a knot so huge. But as we look in our own minds, we discover, maybe it's not as solid as I thought. Maybe in this moment, the option for that story of a world caught up in the trance of misidentification and separation consciousness, maybe in this moment that's not true. Maybe in this moment all is free. When we allow ourselves out of the box of our own making, it's so sweet that we can also extend that kindness to those we love and also the world. The adventure of identification and labeling and self-diagnosing where we are, what's going on, what level of consciousness are we at, what needs to happen to our DNA, what do we need to move from a carbon-based organism to a crystalline organism? Do we need to ascend to 5D, 7D, 11D, 12D, 77,000D, vitamin D? And we innocently move into all these stories, even with all our best intentions. Wonderful, again, nothing wrong with it, nothing right with it. As freedom itself, infinitely free, we also have the freedom to suffer and to be in victim consciousness, for constantly fighting against the reptilians or the government or the evil guy or the bad guy or the douchebag or the this or the that or the asshole or the unconscious ones or the non-religious ones or the ones who worship that God and that God, this God and this God. Mind, wondrous, wondrous, wondrous. And in a moment of looking and checking, maybe not true. I love how Byron Katie poses the question, who would you be without your story? Who would you be without every story? The story of story. What is here? What's available? What's present? It's so sweet that we have the capacity to explore these perceptions and the freedom to explore and investigate. I like to share as we get familiar with the option of either experiencing the moment through story and then get familiar with experiencing this as open presence. We move from fist consciousness to open palm consciousness. The floodgates open. The qualities of awareness, love present, kindness present, peace present, creativity present, solutions present, benefit present, available present, willingness present, listening present. I see you present. I hear you present. Tell me everything present. I hold space. I am space present. Permission present. Appreciation present. Uncontrived, not 1 ounce needing to be forced or manipulated or coerced. Effortless shine of your being as you are. All the qualities we imagine will reveal themselves as soon as this happens, that happens. And what joy, we don't have to wait for the middleman. We can go straight to it now. I like to say there's the 3 amigos of separation consciousness, or the 3 pillars that hold up the delusion of separation consciousness. And we could always check in with ourselves to see if any of these 3 amigos are present in a moment of stress, in a moment of false evidence appearing real, fear, in a moment of suffering, in a moment of, ay, Dios mío. And those 3 amigos are identity. So if we notice there's identity present, identity of ourselves, and even identity of other. Or we may notice the amigo known as time. A future. I love how Byron Katie says, if you want terror, get yourself a future. Again, nothing wrong with these appearances. This isn't that that's wrong or that's bad or that's the devil. This is not the new devil. It's just recognizing the innocence of mind, the innocence of its delight, mind's delight, to categorize, separate, compare, measure, indulge, avoid, replace. That's the nature of mind. Innocent. Nothing wrong with that. And we get to notice, oh, so identity, time, and then the third, cause and effect. Oh, this means that. This interacting with this means this. If this happens, then this will happen. If I don't get paid, this will happen. If I don't do that, that will happen. So it's relying on a very innocent, limited intelligence, telling us what resources are present, telling us what we can and cannot do, letting us know what our bodies can or cannot do. Again, innocently overlooking this open intelligence of being, this roar of vitality and love, right where you sit, right where you stand, right where you lie. I keep mentioning Byron Katie. What up, Byron Katie? Another quote that I love from Byron Katie is, you either sit, lie, or stand. Everything else is a story. Could you imagine feeling into your life and just, instead of looking at how do we look at our past? Oh, when this happened and that thing and then this person did and then that person did that and then I had to go through that and then I had to go through this wondrous adventure. But imagine just looking at your life and watching your body sitting, lying, standing, sitting, lying, standing, just sitting, lying, standing. No problem anywhere. No problem. Sit, line, stand, sit, line, stand. Oh, sit, line, stand, sit, line, stand, sit, line, stand, sit, line, stand. No problem. Anywhere. It's so wondrous, right? Hilarious. Sit, line, stand, sit, line, standing. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So wondrous. Our capacity to identity, time, cause and effect. And then projecting that into the nothingness, the sweet, innocent nothingness. Creating Hello Kitty sticker after Hello Kitty sticker. Label, 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 clip, jump, jip, jip, jip. Some of them stickers are scratch and sniff stickers. Lord have mercy. And we don't notice now, here, as we are, all is well. What was one of those ancient prayers? All is well, and all is well, and all manner of things shall be well. One of the golden threads throughout world religions. What's that beautiful quote that I love? Religions are but the footprints of where truth once walked. Religions are but the footprints of where truth once walked. Mm. Mm. And before I continue, does anyone want to share something regarding this? Tres amigos. Bless you. And beloveds online, feel free to write a comment. I got my sidekick partner in crime. Checking all the things. Things.
Well, every time I come here, I'm like, okay, I want to say something and bring something.
Yeah.
And then I get here and everything it's like everything
Yay!
dissolves. And how could I
Yay! I love it.
I mean, I even wrote it down this morning, the narrative that came in the morning
Oh,
with this
good.
hand, right?
Yes, this
And it's
hand.
like, I already put it together with the right hand.
So good. Yeah.
That's all I want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess the left hand would want to sneak up and say, well, why can't you do this on your own in the morning when you wake up with
Right.
the narrative? But even that is just a thought, right? It's just the same time.
Time. So good. Right. It's like, oh, here I am. And there's such ease. And then I imagine a time,
Yeah.
I imagine
the morning.
a morning, another day.
Right.
It's so sweet to consider for fun all the things that we've taken on to be so real and to question them. There's a day, is it true? There's another second, is it true? You happened at another time, is it true? You once had a morning that you didn't notice awareness, is it true?
Not right now.
Not right now. Yeah. And then what can be real sweet support is the willingness for mind to be itself. Because if you take a look, was it awareness that was worried about a morning? Or is it mind that's worried about a morning?
It's mind.
And for a moment feel into, I am willing for mind to worry about every morning.
Right. Mind is not willing.
Mind is never willing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So this is where, I love that there's all this wonderful literature and spiritual teachers and guides and volumes upon volumes and books and ancient calendars and every spiritual New Age comic book you can muster about an ascension, about a moving from a low frequency to a higher frequency, and that's a beautiful story. It is a story. Wondrous. How exciting. How adventurous. Boy, does it get people through the door and hopefully gets them to a place of exhaustion to recognize the absurdity. If there's a true devotion to what's real and freedom and what's now and who we are and who all is, what all is. But what I love about this willingness, if there was an ascension and a capacity to experience something called ascension, it's this sweet secret of moving from, I never want to experience a morning of busy mind. And it's like, how real are you as a separate self when you never want to experience?
Totally.
Right. It's
real.
totally real. And then it's you that has to, what do I have to do? How do I have to work this out? And then how real is time when you imagine that thought?
Concrete.
Concrete, right? And then how real is cause and effect?
Right. If this keeps happening, I'm fucked.
Right.
That's the cause.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So real, this cause and effect. And so then to consider from a space of curiosity, the option of willingness. So instead of I never want to experience a morning of busy mind, and then what's the posture of I never want to experience a morning of busy mind?
Tight and
Yeah.
yeah.
And feeling into willingness consciousness. I am willing to experience a morning of busy mind. And how does that feel in the body? Like mind might happen.
Right. Even the mind will say, I'm not willing.
Right. Mind will be not willing.
But like the part that witness the namaste
Right.
is willing.
feeling into, even maybe if willing feels a little challenging, to explore the space of willingness to be willing. I'm willing to be willing.
To be willing. Yeah.
What's the posture of willing to be willing? To experience, just experience. The word experience is crucial in this exploration, because it's not like it's ever really happening. It's just an experience. Just an experience. But feeling into I'm willing to be willing. What's the posture of willing to be willing? Yeah, there's an opening there. It's like that stuffy, tight, contrived space. All of a sudden a window is opened. Sunshine, maybe fresh air, willing. And this is moving from experiencing the moment through ego identification to, say, for fun and the poetry and limitation of language, the soul of oneself. It's like, can I experience this moment through my soul? Through the soul not limited to a skin line, soul not limited to a timeline, soul not limited to the laws of an apparent world. And there's ascension. And for fun, try on, instead of I'm willing to experience mornings of busy mind or a morning of busy mind, I look forward to experiencing a morning of busy mind. And what's the energy there? I look forward to experiencing a morning of busy mind.
It's a little harder,
Okay.
honestly. But
Yeah.
yeah, I sense it.
You can sense it.
Did it? No, I didn't get it. Did it?
You want to pass the mic?
Are we able to speak?
Yeah, here's the mic for beloveds at home.
If that answered your question.
If that answered your question.
Yeah, which I totally forgot.
That's so good.
I'm only asking because I didn't know. Are you happy with the answer? Or was it a question or was it? Anyway, hello.
Hi.
Am I on tape? We cut this because I have an NDA. Anyway,
Yeah, so it's just your voice and yeah, so you're good.
I'm here with my dear friend.
We could mute that microphone. Mm-hmm.
Just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
I think we're all getting what we
Mm-hmm.
don't have
Oh,
the first time.
oh, thank you, Carl. Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you all.
I apologize. It's not tape worthy or
This is beautiful and appreciate your honesty.
this is about me.
Mm.
Just saying thank you.
I received that fully. I received that fully. And it's one of these moments.
Forgive me for interrupting your question. I didn't know if you got the answer. And, I don't know if there are any answers to any question.
Right.
It's just, can we all just like be happy?
Right.
What we all are searching for. And
How sweet.
gosh, I think you help us. I've been here for 5 or 20 minutes, and
Mm.
you helped me in 20 minutes. That
Mm.
You can put that on tape. Thank you. Yeah.
You're
So,
very welcome.
and thank you to Helen
Yeah.
for trying to get me here for months and months. And
Mm.
I hate that you're leaving in 2 weeks. But thank you. Sorry, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And how sweet it's the gratitude that pours.
And I love your hat.
It loves you back. It loves you back. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what the heart says to itself. Thank you. Thank you for all of it. I like to say mind is at the feet of the medicine. The medicine is at the feet of loving awareness. And loving awareness at the feet of everything. At the feet of it all. At the feet of it all. Gratitude for all. Every thought, every assumption, every nightmare, every dream, every wisp of a possibility of something separate. All supports, all serves, deeper and deeper. And this space of looking forward to, we just get familiar with how does Leela, knowing itself as Leela, knowing all as Leela, Leela being a Sanskrit word for play of the gods, play of consciousness. No resistance. Let the moment be itself. Let mind be itself. Oh, let body be itself. Oh, let the world be itself. Let the morning be itself. Let the afternoon be itself. What's the posture of full delight and all being itself? It's like a cartwheel. It's such delight. And then in that, in terms of the benefit and the practicality of what it looks like in a human life, full benefit present, hands available, intellect available, genetics available, our hearts available, our gifts and talents available. How are they not available? Have you noticed? Innocently, when we're caught up in story, innocently, when we're fists and we're like, oh. I love working with artists and exploring this very same exploration. That's from Byron Katie, by the way, which is like, yeah, Jai BK. And let's say the concept, I never want to experience being judged. How do you art when you never want to experience being judged? How do you not art when you never want to experience being judged? I don't want to experience being judged. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. It's like, what planet are you on? Beloved, consider the option of I'm willing to be judged. Judge me, say that you judge me. When we're not trying to protect, when we're not, it's like, let the floodgates open. Let the art come through. Free, willing. And what delight that everyone gets to have their own experience. And looking forward. Imagine standing on stage and looking forward to the moment, just being the moment. What's sweet about willingness and looking forward to, sometimes the mind solely focuses on the negative, but it also includes the positive. So if, say, I look forward to a morning of busy mind, you're also saying, I look forward to a morning of absolute delight and very obvious bliss, seeing emptiness. It includes all. Yeah. Yes.
So how would you do that with anxiety? I look forward to a
Right.
morning of anxiety.
Yes.
How fun is that?
How fun is that? Right. Right. So it's so interesting. We start so let's say there's the energy of anxiety
Mm-hmm.
and then our thoughts about that energy. Oh no, this is coming at a wrong time. Oh, this shouldn't be here. Oh shit. Is this who I am for the rest of my life? Oh, you see, identity, time, cause and effect, all present. Oh no, is this a brain hemorrhage? Is this a heart attack? Is this, and just for a moment to allow that dynamic energy to be here. It's like I'm willing to be anxious in this moment. Doesn't mean the next moment you're not calling a friend to take you to the emergency room or, you know, taking a gummy or having a cup of tea or, you know, before I knew what anxiety was, there was a moment. It was really interesting to have this experience of PTSD when I was invited to go on tour with Menudo again. So I'm, 35 years old, 34 years old, and I'm invited to go on tour with Menudo again, a reunion tour. And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be so fun. So surface level, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be amazing and so exciting. And how lucky to get the experience of, if I knew then what I know now, and to live that and then body, whatever, the 16-year-old, the 14-year-old, the terrified, anxious. And I started having, I had a very innocent idea of no anxiety. Anxiety is not possible if you're not believing a negative thought. Anxiety can only happen if you're believing a negative thought. Very innocent, so that holds true to anxiety of anxiety, but seeing anxiety as something wrong, something bad, something, you know. Anyway, I went to a bunch of doctors. What's happening? I have vertigo. I have, look at my body, look and see what's going on. All of this happening in peace. In other words, there wasn't an argument with, it was just, but noticing in life, inviting an education. That's what's so beautiful about deeper and deeper. It's like we have this idea of like we're awake and that's it. Boom. Deeper and deeper. I love how Gangaji words it when she says, who you are need not be learned. Not in the realm of learning. No learning there. And there's a teaching that follows. And life is the Satguru. Life is the great teacher. Every moment shows us the way. Every moment invites us to an embodied recognition, not just a surface level, but deeper and deeper in the bone marrow. And so there were many nights where I would just sit and be like, oh, the doctor was like, oh, would you like a prescription to some anxiety medication? And I was like, what? Anxiety medication? What you mean? I was like, this is like, it has to be something with my blood sugar. This has to be some kind of hypoglycemia.
Heart problem.
Yeah, maybe I have early onset, diabetes. I don't know, whatever these. But it was just like, it's your business, doctor. Do what you need to do with my body. Look everywhere, whatever you would let me. But she's like, anxiety. I was like, anxiety. So then I started doing research on anxiety and research on body and PTSD. And, I had a deep, profound awakening when I was 6 years old, 16 years old. Life kept the grace of this open, and then body as the teacher and the aging and the PTSD. So what a gift, everything, inviting. And so there were many nights where in learning about anxiety, learning about PTSD, learning about the body keeps the score, to just really being with it. So I would pet myself. A lot of times I feel like my body is my pet. I get to feed it. I get to walk it.
Did you have any anxiety while performing?
No, no anxiety performing. No. So that was the funny thing. It's like complete delight. Let's perform. Let's do this. Let's go to all the interviews. Let's only have 2 hours of sleep. Let's, all of it, everything that entails, all the, all the rehearsals. No, no resistance to any of that. And yet my 16-year-old, my 14-year-old, and all the trauma that was there, all the ways I didn't know how to meet those energies, all of a sudden went, and I did the whole tour and allowed the energies of anxiety and welcomed them to be here forever. So that's the sweetness of willingness and welcome. I would sit there and be like, if there were thoughts like, I need to sleep, is that true? No. This anxiety shouldn't be here. It's not gonna let me do the things I need to. Is that true? No. This anxiety should be here. This energy should be here. And then also, when you feel safe enough or present enough, grounded enough in your willingness, even questioning what anxiety is. Anxiety. I have anxiety. Is that true? The body's is that. And it's such permission to really.
What I can't figure out when I
Can you?
is my heart's beating really fast.
Right.
Bam, 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 bam. And I can't figure out if I'm having anxiety because my heart's beating fast or
Right.
I am having my heart. I don't know what is true. I'm not
Right.
knowing what's true.
Right. Right. And so I love how Byron Katie says doctors, the body is the doctor's business, or someone who knows about its business in the sense of, another point of view, another exploration. There's an education there. So nothing wrong with seeking support in those spaces. And in the first moment, noticing the sensations, with all that's happening on the planet and all that's happened in our lives, for a lot of bodies, the innocence of these bodies and the innocence of mind, just waking up is anxiety causing. Just starting the day.
Put your hand.
Oh, my hand.
Oh.
The microphone.
You're so right. And we all feel for you. And we all struggle with well, I do,
I do.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
thank you. I mean,
Thank you.
Thank you.
it's all around us.
Right.
Anxiety and
Right.
don't want to apologize. Am I not?
No, you're so
Yes,
good.
you're-
So much anxiety.
that are monumental and
Right.
the answers are so happily received
Mm.
in all forms. Everyone's different.
Mm.
And
Mm. Right. Isn't it one?
Helen is my answer to everything good and bad.
Oh, I love that.
She's brought me here
It's so
and
sweet.
to meet all of you. And I don't make this all about me, but why not?
Yeah. Here you are.
Anyway,
Here you are. Here you
love
are.
your,
Here you are. Right. It's so beautiful.
no, I'm sorry, but in all seriousness, anxiety is with all of us, and
Hmm.
thank you,
Thank you.
Ash.
You're so welcome. I mean, what's so beautiful is hearing each other share our experience, is that we recognize that we're not just one in consciousness. We're also one in anxiety. We're also one in absurdity. We're also one in delusion. We're also one in thought. We're one in believing these thoughts. We're one in assumption making. We're one we're one in everything. Inseparable as all. It's not an isolated thing. It's like, oh, that's my story too. Oh, I know that energy. I know that thought. I love how Byron Katie says, gosh, there's no such thing as a new stressful thought. No such thing as a new stressful thought.
Would she say, is it true to anxiety?
Anxiety, when you feel that moment is appropriate and right. It could be right now. You have anxiety. Is it true? But only you can be honest if that has relevance. For some beloveds, that may feel a little violent, depending on where they're at. But if there's a real earnest love for truth, and then a willingness, and permission, it's like, oh my goodness, my relationship with my body, deeper and deeper and deeper, was such a sweet space of, oh, beloved, of course you have anxiety. Of course you're so free to have this as long as you need to, sweetheart. Precious one, precious creature of this world, of this time, of this trauma, of this humanity. Precious creature of this. Oh, there's anxiety present. Oh, sweetheart. It's like so welcome, so welcome. In the welcome, we discover the benefit of all sensation and experience. And in the welcome, we don't just discover the benefit, but we also extract the nutrients of the energetic kale, I like to call. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say energetic chaos.
Oh, fun. Not kale. Yeah. Kale and chaos.
So is the willingness in the welcome? Is that what you're saying?
Where is the mic?
No, it's okay. Go for it. I'll do it after. No, continue.
Oh, I didn't know if you were. Is the willingness in the welcome?
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about welcoming it, I have a lot of anxiety too.
Yeah.
I can contact welcoming it, but the
Nice.
willingness is a little bit like there's a double down teenager who's like,
Right.
this is not okay.
Well, what's so sweet with willingness? For a moment, feel into the willingness of to be willing to let the teenager be here.
Mm-hmm.
All the willingness does is is reveal whatever guards we've had
Yeah.
protecting the sacred belief, where the ego gets the payoff of anxiety,
Right.
and the ego gets to be the victim
Yeah.
to anxiety, gets to have the story of anxiety, gets to have the story of time, gets to have the assumption that it's an actual thing, gets to justify the hope that it is something real, because deep down inside it knows it's not real at all. So in that willingness and welcome, it's also semantics. Maybe the word welcome feels better. I am willing to welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I hear what you're saying about like whatever's in the body is absolutely okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And it's not a religious thing of never see a doctor, never go.
Right.
It's just noticing that, discovering regardless of circumstance. It's only two ways to do anything, one in peace and one in stress.
Right. And I guess what I'm realizing is the stress of this is not okay and I have to get rid of this
Right.
is the opposite of welcoming it.
Right. And not that it's a wrong thing and not necessarily the opposite.
Okay.
It's just what mind does.
Yeah.
That both can exist. The welcome is already here. You forever welcomed everything that has ever happened in every realm, in every time and space. Your nature is welcome. We explore welcome as a way to get familiar with the welcome that you are. You are welcome. You are acceptance. You are willingness. It's not ego's job to get the muscle of these things. It only seems that way as we get familiar, but you already are willingness. You know, sometimes it's sweet to notice, do we have a problem with Saturn right now? Or do we completely welcome it to be itself? We probably haven't even thought about Saturn today. It's so free to be itself. Feel into all that you already welcome. You know, have you thought about that atom and in that bone marrow? I mean, all that is welcomed right now, this carpet, this room, this space, the very early Christmas decorations.
I was going to mention that.
Wait, Bodhi, what would you like to say, love?
There's a question in the
Yeah.
YouTube, so I just want
Okay.
to name that. Thoughts towards those of us who are experiencing everyday struggle.
Sorry, can you start again?
Yeah. Thoughts towards those of us who are experiencing everyday struggle of simply surviving and maintaining ourselves and our livelihoods. And thoughts of those who have projections that may not resonate completely.
Read that one more time.
Thoughts towards those of us who are...
Thoughts towards those of us.
Yeah, so
So
do you have thoughts?
Do I have
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yes,
Okay.
it's not in a question, but this is what asking for thoughts
Oh,
towards
thoughts about reflections on.
Can I have your
Okay,
thoughts?
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Your thoughts towards those of us who are experiencing everyday struggle of simply surviving and maintaining ourselves and our livelihoods.
Well, I mean, gosh, the compassion that's here, the allowing, you know, it's like everyday struggles, you know, such compassion for where struggles begin. You know, the innocence of struggle, the innocence of separation consciousness when it has something to do with scarcity and energy and work and time and money and a future and you know, it's just for the love who has not found itself. Compassion for mind, compassion, you know, it's like, and the invitation to consider for 1 second a moment of rest, a moment of allowing, and to be okay if you don't have that moment. That moment will find you in the right time. None of this ever has to be rushed, beloveds. You can't rush it. No need to rush the dream of awakening. It is a dream. Who you are is forever awake. No need to rush the dream of opening. It is a dream. Who you are is openness itself. No need to rush the dream of letting go. Who you are is never held on to anything. No need to rush the dream of acceptance or being at peace. Who you are is absolute peace and acceptance already. And in the dream of time and someone and karma and full permission to never have to get any of it right, to never have to learn it, to never have to get skilled at awakening, to never have to wake up. And then it's a joke when you discover the surrender of having to wake up. All of a sudden, boom, here you are awake. Here you are awake. I have a song that the bridge says, what if miracles were too close for our eyes to see? And this that's happening right now's but a possibility. What if you are dreaming you're asleep when you're awake? What if God said thank you back? What would you say? Jim.
That's great. Beautiful voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was just gonna share a trick that I use.
Oh, I love a
all
little
the
trick.
time.
A big trick, a nice trick, a joy
I
trick.
know. Like in all these things, acceptance, compassion, and love, and anything.
Yeah.
You're having trouble, resistance, anything. Doesn't matter. So whatever it is, I'll go with acceptance. So with acceptance, can I accept what isn't acceptable? You know? And no, I can't do that. Okay. Can I accept the one who can't accept the acceptance? No, I still can't do that. Okay, well then can I accept the one that can't accept the one that can't accept the unacceptable? And then if and get to the point of okay, I can accept the one that can't accept the one that can't accept the one that can't accept what's not acceptable. Okay, good. So stay there, accepting. Just accept and let that acceptance. It just permeates through the whole thing till finally whatever was unacceptable, it doesn't even exist. I mean, it's just not even relevant at that point because you're just in acceptance. And it works for everything that is desirable in that sense.
So sweet.
Yeah. That's what I do anyway. And so, so if I'm distressed, okay, can I accept that I'm distressed? Usually, yeah. But if I can't, I keep going.
It's sweet, right? The excavating, the permission that we give ourselves. These tricks of these little nugget tricks. They're so sweet. Such sweet permission slips.
Yeah, right.
Necessary until they're not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because once you're in that quote vibration, then that's the completeness, and it just washes through. Washes everything out, everything away. So anyway, then it's all washed away, and you're clean.
You feel good?
For a moment, Carl, excuse me, beloved. Thank you. This beloved has the mic and is going to share right now.
There's a little confusion
Yay.
in the field. I think I guess what I'm trying to reconcile or allow space for is that sometimes you speak very compassionately towards separation consciousness.
And sometimes.
And other times you're saying, but the soul, I love when you just brought in the soul, that the soul way of understanding knows that none of this exists, basically. And so it came up when you were saying the anxiety. Of course there's anxiety because of the world in which we live in.
Right.
Which is almost to me like a cause and effect. It's not really real. Like, of course it's like the whole thing. Of course there's climate.
Yes.
Of course we're living in climate collapse. I'm not a denier, but I'm also like, how real is it in a way?
Right.
Even all the political horrific things.
Yes.
It is real and it's not real. It is, so I don't want to get into what is real, but I'm saying sometimes you'll say, of course. And other times you'll be like, and we know that we are not our anxiety, that we've
Right.
never been anxious. That
Right.
so sometimes it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. So, one thing that's really beautiful in this vast, spacious, is the permission for all, let's say, locations of consciousness to exist. A location of perception, a location of noticing. From one space, it's kind of like feeling into what is soothing, whatever thought may be on fire right now, whatever the story might feel really real right now, and then exploring different things to soothe that. And in soothing that, it's like there's different things, the permission to let, the allowing everything to be as it is, as one option. And and then it's up to us and our own truth and our own will to notice when that doesn't become relevant anymore. So I have an awareness that there's a bouquet of locations and perceptions present, and there isn't an attempt to speak to all of them, but an availability. And in that availability, this moment speaks to as many locations as possible, and and there isn't a conscious thought of what location might work for a beloved, but this moment knows how to respond to itself. And this moment will speak in the language that of love in whichever way that feels right. In some instances it's so clear to speak to, of course, the story of a world and the story of someone, and then the way those interact, the intersection of things, and then in some moments it's so naturally present. Oh yeah, and let's also notice what has never been touched by anything. Let's also notice what's free. Let's also notice that there's no one here. No one to know, nothing to know, nowhere to know. Let's also notice what's closer than the wonder of descriptions and phenomena. So it's like an all-inclusive hug, and maybe consent before a hug, or maybe no hug, and the hug and no hug. It's like all-inclusive. This moment here with itself. Yeah. Did that serve or support?
but it's like the maha both and.
Right.
Know the truth of who we are and also believe so passionately in the story of who we are. And not wrong or right, but
Right.
both
And to be completely free and open and hear, knowing the truth of all, and simultaneously completely heartbroken at what's happening in our world, in our planet, to the ecosystems. Yeah, it's all. I love how Nisargadatta speaks to it in his quote that says, "Wisdom tells me that I am no thing. Love tells me that I am everything. And in between the two, my life dances." In between the two, my life dances. Mm. Would you like to share something now? No? Yes. Okay.
Pause for a minute so I can go to the bathroom.
Oh no, you can go to the bathroom. It's right there.
Can we pause it all first? I don't mind if you don't.
So would you like us to have a moment of silence? Feel free to go to the bathroom, love. Oh, you're so fun. Body's gotta do what body's gotta do. And this is being recorded. I'll send you the link. So sweet. Yay, bodies. I'm going to say the most amazing thing ever. So sweet. So sweet. What a sweetheart. Sweetheart. Oh, the joy. Woo. There is a pause. There's a laughter pause. Oh, Lord. And to the beloved at home that asked that question or that exploration, let me know if that served. Is there any more? If you have any more, please write it in the comments. We'll see it on either YouTube or Facebook.
But there was a second part to the question, right? It was also the projection. The projection piece.
Oh, what was the projection piece? Yay, projections. I love projections.
Your thoughts on that those of us who your projections may not resonate completely with.
Who thoughts with my projections? My
Thoughts that
on
those of us
Oh, those of us.
those of us who your projections may not resonate completely with.
Yay, projections. I mean, it's so sweet. It's so sweet to discover what's the source of the world. What's the source of anyone? What's the source? What are you actually experiencing? Beloveds, consider the possibility that you've never experienced another person. You've never experienced a planet. You've never experienced anything but your story about the other person, your story about the rug, your story about the planet, your story. You're only ever experiencing your mind, yours until you don't. And it's okay. Mind can experience itself forever. And what I mean by till you don't, it's that subtle shift in what you're emphasizing as you get caught by the devotion to truth, by the devotion to freedom, by the devotion to love, by the devotion to learning the mechanism of separation, how this mind works, and the devotion to the qualities of who you truly are. Then it's what the sages speak to as all is the self. Self alone here. Only oneself. And you are the self with yourself. The self experiencing yourself. Other, it's not like you walk up to someone and say, hi, self. Even though a lot of beloveds, I do that too. But but you don't have to, it doesn't have to look a certain way. You're just here with yourself, here with yourself, here with your tiptoeing self. So adorable. Here with yourself. Here with yourself. You're the center of the universe. No need to be the center of attention. You're already the center of the whole universe. Such a joy. oh, we sometimes it's so sweet that we don't want to be the center of attention, and it's the sweetest little joke because you're already the center of all the universe and the whole existence. There's nothing here but you. Nothing here but you. And you'll like it. It's so good. So good. The self here with the self. Yeah. The I am that. It's like a deep bow to Nisargadatta, deep bow to Ramana Maharshi, deep bow to all the Advaita Vedanta, deep bow to the Dzogchen masters, Wangdor Rinpoche, to Zichi Rinpoche, deep bow to beloved Longchenpa, beloved Longchenpa. Deep bow, deep bow to the Zen, and then it's discovering, the deep bow to all these things invites us to discover the deepest of bows to a Twinkie, the deepest of bows to a sandal, to rug, to mind, to thought, the deepest of bows. It's like, oh, that which we have devotion to is the training wheels and opening to, oh, this is who I am with all, as all. This deep bow, this love, this gratitude, this I see you. I see you. No hiding here. No hiding anywhere. All that we imagine make us who we are, all of that bow to. So a thought of ourselves, a concept of ourselves, concept of others, concept of genetics, concept of a body, concept of life, concept of death, concept of, well, I did this today, or concept of my sign, concept of my human design, concept of wondrous, all of it empty of an independent nature. No independent nature, nowhere to be found. No one has ever pinched themselves off of the wholeness that is. It's not like you're a growth on the universe. You're not walking around, you're not a skin tag of God. Wholeness, your nature, wholeness, your nature. All of it, wholeness, just right. Mind just right, body just right, world just right. Wholeness, and in that, fully available as benefit. Benefit. Can't help but be benefit. Show up as benefit. And beignets, yay, beignets. Yes.
I just wanna. I feel like there's a slow time release.
Yay.
Share it. So, sorry, you're tangled. So
Tell me.
Advaita for so many years.
Okay.
Post Papaji was so
Yes.
fundamentalist. It was like such a hard line. Like nothing's
Right,
real.
yes.
You're
Yes.
nobody's there.
Neti,
You're not the
neti.
body. It was like such a fundamentalist position, actually.
Right.
And what you're saying is kind of not even the opposite, because that would be binarizing. It's not the opposite of fundamental, but
Right.
it's this includes everything, even fundamentalism.
What a
But-
hug. What an embrace.
But it's such a reinterpretation for me of non-duality, that even duality is
sweet.
invited. Everything's
Even do
invited.
everything's
Come on in.
invited. Come on in. Welcome to the party. Oh, here you are. Yes, so good. So good. This moves from non-duality in the intellect to bringing it to the bhakti, to the heart. Bring it to the body. Bring it to the, oh yeah. Yeah, it's so welcome. Not the opposite. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it's so sweet. The sweet location where all phenomena isn't the opposite, but serves as the exaltation of, the celebration of. The seeker is the exaltation of that which is forever found. Ignorance, enlightenment, exalting that which is. Just as every shadow sings the praises of light being here. Shadow cannot happen without light. Shadow is evidence of light. Mind, evidence of loving awareness. Body, evidence of loving awareness. Anxiety, thoughts, conditioning, programming, evidence of this that is free. The dynamic energy of this that is free. Planets are just plankton floating in a sea of omnipresent mystery. Those who claim to know it are rarely ever showing. They are just as lost as you and me. And doctors, lawyers, politicians and professors of modern science, the oppressed and the oppressors, religious leaders, the gurus and the shamans, everybody has one thing in common. We are nothing, oh no, pretending to be something, yeah. We are nothing, oh no, pretending to be something. With the birth of language, names give false protection. We are pathological. Every war is with ourselves. We are family on a cell, spinning through the veins of the unknown. And doctors and the lawyers, politicians and professors of modern science, the oppressed and the oppressors, religious leaders, the gurus and the shamans, everybody has one thing in common. We are nothing, oh no, pretending to be something. We are nothing, oh no, pretending to be something, yeah. I am nothing, I am nothing pretending to be something. And even though we may think we're really good at all the pretending, we're really not. Everybody sucks at pretending. When you really look, we fail every time at pretending to be something different than we infinitely are. To be something different than we infinitely are. Doesn't matter the disguise, doesn't matter the disguise. Ooh, freedom, freedom reigns, freedom reigns, freedom reigns. Jai freedom, freedom reigns. Oh, freedom falls on the floor too. What was that? Yay! What's that? What's that chant in the Kashi ashram? Jaya 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 Shambho. No. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Jai Shiva Jambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jai Shiva. Yes. Thank you, beloveds. Thank you so much for this time together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Such a joy. I'm going to be here next Monday the 16th. And then I go away for a little while. Oh, yeah, the 13th. Monday the 13th. That's right. Not the 16th. That's right. Monday the 13th. I am going to explore the option of sharing satsang on Kauai and broadcasting it. So that could be sweet too. On Facebook or on YouTube. Yeah.
So you'd be 3 hours behind us.
Right. So it'll be 4 o'clock for me over there. So I'll do satsang at 4. That could be fun. Do a daytime satsang. Yeah. Yeah, I think when I'm in Hawaii, I'll explore doing a daytime satsang so it's not crazy late for beloveds on the mainland. It could be sweet with a little sounds, a little bird sounds. So very sweet. Yeah, if you'd like to leave a donation in that little blue thing over there, and there's some treats and things if you like some little holiday treats, and or if you'd like to leave a donation, all the links are there online for Venmo and PayPal and all that stuff. It's so welcome. And if you're excited about exploring some self-realization mentorship, I have 2 openings available in the coming months. So let me know about that option as well. All right. I love you. I thank you. This has been so sweet.